Hi friends, Tracy here from the Sewing Channel. Welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome. Today's quilt block is called The Star of Wonder. Now a couple weeks ago, I was going through my trusty handy quilt book and I came across The Star of Wonder. Now, I had never heard of The Star of Wonder before. Tell me in the comments though if you have, because I haven't. As I looked at it, it seems to have a lot of color play. It's not a difficult block at all. It's relatively easy. What matters the most about this block, I believe, is color and the way that it's placed. Let's take a look. This was the first block that I tried right here. I love the black along with the pink. I just think that contrast is something special. I'll pop a picture here of what it would look like in a whole quilt. Stunning, right? I thought, let me stay with the black theme and see what I can do with that in a floral. I didn't care for this one as much. I felt like this one right here, the roses kind of get lost within that black. So I didn't feel like this combo was that stunning. This one right here was a Christmas themed block. Now, after it was all said and done, and I'm sure you might think so too, a red star might have looked a lot better in this block. But once you put it all together, and I'll pop a picture here, where it connects with the pine cone area, it's variegated within that, and it actually looks kind of cool. So I don't know, tell me in the comments what you think. Now the pumpkin one, I thought this one was really cute. I took this kind of red, rusty kind of color. I picked it out of the leaves and there was some berries in here, and I think that that did a good job of drawing out that color. And this is kind of like a peachy brownish color, I don't know. But what I did on this block was I made a secondary block out of it, which all that means is I added a little something on the ends here. Let me pop a picture here to show you. When you construct this block this way and add something to the ends, then it makes a secondary block, which made this really cool like dagger star. And I just thought that that was really neat the way that that turned out. And you can add that to any block that you want on the ends. I mean, it's not a big deal. I don't show you today how I cut these, but maybe that's another tutorial coming up. The star of today's show is this block right here. Now I did some fussy cutting, which you'll see in the video. I really like this block and how the colors contrast together. I'll pop a picture up here to show you what this would look like all done on a quilt. I mean, absolutely stunning. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. Be sure to watch the whole video. I have a couple quiz questions for you, but you have to leave your answers down in the comments. Enough talking already. Let's get busy making the Star of Wonder. A dark blue rope pattern, 4 inches squared. You'll need 4 of these. I have a red with a white dot, 4 inches squared. You'll need 4 of these as well. For my star points, I've fussy cut all of them so when they're folded, they're exactly directional. I know it's a little OCD, but that's okay. That's how I wanted it. You'll need 8 star points and you'll need them at 2 1/4 inch squared. And they need to match the center of the star, which is 4 inches squared as well. This is how I'm going to get my star points ready. I'm going to fold these perfectly together. And we are going to crease it. Add some spritz if you want. I've been doing that lately and honestly it helps. So that goes there. So I'm going to open this up. So this is the part that's going to show in the end when I cut off my excess. So I'm going to open this up, turn it just like that. Set your ruler right in that crease. Now you will just put a pencil mark right along there. Now this line is the line that you want to sew on. So if I were to open it up, my line is actually right next to where I put the crease because of how I set the ruler, right within the groove. Let me show you again. Just so it's butting up right against there. And I'm gonna stick my pencil down in here. Works better if you do it on a flat surface and not this wool pad, but I'll finish up these and then we'll sew these together. Take and line up the corner with the corner on this square. And pop a pin. We're going to take our whole design board over to the sewing machine, which makes it really easy to carry everything in the sewing room. And if you missed this tutorial, I'll link it in the top right-hand corner. You definitely want to make one of these. No glue and no tape involved whatsoever, only sewing. With elastic and a drawstring method. I highly recommend that video. We're going to take this over to the sewing machine and then we are going to sew right on that line that we made with the pencil. Make sure you position your needle right on top of that line that you made with the pencil. And you can just eyeball it and turn your hand wheel till your needle gets pretty darn close. And then literally just put it in. That's all. I do back stitch on my pieces. It's just about perfect. It's not perfect, but who is, right? Oh my word, I'd go crazy trying to make myself literally perfect. So once you get that sewn on, before you go on to the next corner, you are going to open this back up after you've ironed it, and you're going to cut along here, cutting both these pieces off, right here, about 1/4 of an inch. And now that part I just eyeball. Now we're going to add the other one. Once we get that cut off, you're going to add the other side. You can just throw these bits out unless you keep them. You can literally make yourself nuts trying to make everything literally perfect. It's just not the way things are. Things can look perfect, but you're not going to always get them that way. So do your best. If you've done your best on your quilting, then there's nothing more that you can ever ask of yourself. Remember that, friends. Don't ever get so hard on yourselves that you think you have to be perfect or like somebody else, because you really don't. All you have to do is be you. A little encouragement for today, I guess. Now we're going to sew right along that pencil mark again. Not too bad. So you see how all my water and my sky is all going the same way. So I almost made a mistake there. So I'm glad I set this up the way I did. Otherwise, they'd be all crazy. So. So I messed up and I put my boat the wrong way. So luckily that one doesn't have as much water in it. So I'm going to leave it and I'm just going to change the route of this one now because it changes the whole structure of what's going on here. I mean, not that anybody's going to notice, right? So if it sits on my block this way, the water is going this way, that boat's taking a dive. That's like the Titanic or something. So, oh well. So we're gonna go with it. Want your block to be 4 inches still. I didn't really allot any room for mess up. So I'm just gonna trim off that very little bit there, which is nothing. It's okay. Let's see. The other ones look pretty good, but let's just take a look. Check your sides. The main thing I want you to see here is we need at least a 1/4 inch from the very tip of that red to the edge. This is how you can tell. See that 1/4 inch? We need a 1/4 inch in between this area. And as long as you have that, you're good. All right, let's see, I messed up my order now. Well, we know that that one's taking a dive, so on the bottom, sinking ships. What do they say? Loose lips sink ships or something. That's a saying, I guess. I don't know, I've heard it before. And if you add all these in, you have the Star of Wonder all ready to be sewn up. You're going to sew these 3 together, these 3 together, and these 3 together. When you get to these points right here, you want to make sure that you cross over right where that X is. That will ensure that that gives us a really nice V shape right there. Looking good. After I get each row connected, I'm going to iron them before I connect them all together. I want to nest my seams on this block, so I need to figure that out before this step, before we connect all of them together. See how these are going this way toward the center? That's exactly how I'm going to press those. Now, since I pressed those toward the center, these ones are going to be pressed outward. It's all coming together. Now all we have to do is just sew all 3 rows together. Remember this area right here, that X, you want to make sure you go right in the middle of that X. Everything looks really good right here. Now we're going to give it one last press. So turn it over and take a look. We are going to press these all in, both of them. You can press them open if you want, or the other way. It's totally up to you. Once I get them going in the right direction, then I'm going to turn it over, and then I'm going to give everything a good spritz. Take my nice hot iron. I just love the look of this block. It's so fresh and so clean. It would make a perfect man's quilt too. Until next time on the Sewing Channel, take care.